Hey guys, happy Tuesday again. I'm back with another cool math trick. Still have my Iron Man shirt on. And this one, the one that I just recorded was more of like a shortcut, and this one is actually a cool trick. So I'm going to tell you the steps and do the trick with you, and then I will review those steps with you so that you can write it down and that way you can share it, okay? So what I want you to do is pause this video and go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, because this won't work unless you actually do this with me, okay? So pause the video, go grab paper and pencil or marker, crayon, pen, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna go through these steps. I'm going to use my own starting number. You're going to use your own starting number. And we obviously won't be able to see what each other is doing. And then my prediction is that we are going to end up with the same answer after we go through all these steps, no matter what first number you choose, okay? Now, the number that you choose, there are a couple of rules. The starting number. The starting number has to have 3 digits, and those digits have to be descending in value from the hundreds place to the ones place. So for instance, 321 or 321 would be an option for your first starting number. 123 or 123 would not be an option because those numbers are getting larger as you go to the ones place. So we need to come up with a 3-digit number that has descending digits from the hundreds place to the ones place, okay? Another example would be like 421, that would work, okay? So write down a 3-digit number with descending digits. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay? Now you're going to reverse the order of the digits and you're going to write it again directly underneath where you wrote that first number, because what we're going to end up doing is subtracting it. Okay? So reverse the digits, take what was in the ones place and what was in the hundreds place and flip them. And then you're going to subtract. And you're going to have to do a little borrowing probably. Okay? I'm going to let you catch up if you're a little bit behind. That's okay. All right, so now what I want you to do is reverse the digits of that difference that you just got. And write it underneath again. Write it underneath. And then you're going to add those 2 3-digit numbers together. So we subtracted first, now we're adding. Okay, what did you get? Did you get 1,089? Because I got 1,089. Pretty cool, right? That's what you're supposed to get. So if you didn't get that, you might have made a little error in there somewhere. But no matter what 3 numbers, or no matter what 3-digit number you start with, that is what you're going to end up with your answer, as long as you follow those steps. Okay, so let's do this together now with the same number so that you can remember those steps a little bit better. Okay, so our first step is to write down a 3-digit number with descending digits. Let's do 873. Okay, 873. So now what I want you to do is reverse that and write it underneath. So we would now have 378. Okay, and then subtract. And again, you're probably going to notice that you're doing something very similar to what you did the first time, or at least part of it is going to be similar to what you did the first time. And you may also notice that that middle digit is always going to end up being a 9, which I thought was very interesting. Now, this is actually pretty weird. I got 495, which is what I got on my first number that I chose. It's interesting. And then you're going to reverse that and add it. Like this. And you get 1,089. It's pretty cool. So one thing that you might notice when you do this, and I did a couple of other ones. I'm going to do another one, and hopefully we won't get the same answer again, but I want you to, again, start thinking about why this is. See if you can see patterns. See if you can see similarities between different numbers that are chosen. Let's start with a larger number. Let's start with 987. Try this one with me. 987 is what we start with, right? And then we reverse it to 789 and then subtract. And you should be noticing that in the middle, in the tens place, you always have to borrow. In the tens places, they don't change, right, when you reverse it, because that's the middle number. So it always stays the same. And you almost always have to borrow. You have to change all of your numbers, right? You have to borrow a lot. You have to do a lot of regrouping. And another thing that I'm noticing, I don't know if you guys notice this or not, but take a look at your answers, those first answers that you're getting. The middle digit is always 9, right? And then also take a look at the ones place and the hundreds place. Those seem to always add up to 9, which is interesting, right? So whenever we take that second, after we've done our first set of calculations, our second calculation is going to be to reverse the first one, which means our digits aren't changing, right? The digits don't change. It's just the order of the digits that change. And if that hundreds place and ones place are always going to add up to 9, then that kind of tells us what that pattern is. It's interesting how it turns out that it turns out like that. But the reason that we always get 1,089 is because 9 is always going to be the answer to our ones place, right? Because 8 plus 1 is 9. The middle, the tens place, is always going to be 18, right? Because 9 is always that middle number, or that tens place number. And then in the hundreds place, you're always going to end up, well, the hundreds and the thousands place, you're always going to end up with 10, because you always have a 9 here, you always have 18 here, and you always have to regroup with that 1, and that's how you always get the 10. Anyway, it's one of those cool number tricks that you can share, and it's easy math to do, and it's just cool. There is probably a better explanation than we just came up with, but if you can find it, let me know, because I would love to share it with everybody. All right, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll be back later with more cool math tricks. Bye.